I'm super excited to see you, and I wanted to review what we went over last week. So if you remember back to last week, the purpose of our lesson was to know the difference between geometric shapes, that family, and the biomorphic shapes. So we're focusing on the geometric shapes for this lesson. And what that means is that the geometric shapes are the shapes that have names. They have an identity like we do. So they belong to the geometric family, right? And they each have their own individual names, just like us. And so this would be called what? Very good if you said circle. It's a circle. Circle geometric. You say circle geometric. Very good. So like my name is Lena Petrelli. I belong in the Petrelli family, but my name is Lena. So this is circle, and it belongs in the geometric family. This is triangle, geometric. You do. Rectangle. Very good, geometric. One more. Oval, geometric. Very good. Now, the reason I'm taking my time is because we are reviewing our prior knowledge, right? So we're taking that information and we're building upon it. Now, the geometric shapes, you drew different geometric shapes. You used objects that you found at home to trace those shapes if you wanted them to be perfect. And the reason that I say perfect is because geometric shapes are made by people. They are made perfectly with either a compass, which is a tool that makes things perfectly round, or with rulers that make things perfectly straight, and they are the geometric shapes. The biomorphic shapes are in the other family that are shapes that are found in nature, and those are not perfect. Why? Because nature is not perfect, right? Neither are we. So these geometric shapes that you made last week so beautifully in pencil, I want us to now go back in and add color. Now, as you can see, if you remember our artist, our abstract artist, Sandra Silberswig, she makes her pieces super, super colorful. And she might have some sort of plan with her color choices, or she might not. It all depends on each particular piece and her mood. And so you can certainly choose your own colors. Some of you have already jumped ahead and completed your pieces. But for those of you who are just in this stage of tracing maybe and getting ready to choose your colors, I just wanted to show you a couple of choices. If you remember, you're using whatever materials you have at home. So I am just using crayons and markers. You may use oil pastels if you have them, regular chalk pastels if you have them. You can use color pencils, watercolor paints, whatever you have, okay? But I'm just gonna keep it basic. Markers and crayons, because most of us have one of those available to us at home. So I'm just gonna start by saying that the small shapes I like to do in marker. And I like to leave the larger areas for crayon. Why? Because the marker on a large area shows all of the strokes, all of the lines. But if I use marker for a small space, then you can't really see any of my lines. And of course, I still try to color in the same direction, right? And by doing that, if I color in the same direction back and forth, or up and down vertically, then I leave less lines and I make it more colorful or full of color because I leave less white spaces, okay? I'm gonna try to fill it in as much as I can to the best of my ability. And now I have that colored in. You can make these any colors that you want. I think that I'm going to do half of this face in maybe cool colors, and then the other half of the face in warm colors. Now, let me show you something. There are many, many different color families, right? So these are the warm colors, and we might have talked about them this year already. If not, we've talked about them last year and years before. But the warm colors are colors that remind us of the sun, and that the sun makes us feel warm when we're outside or in summertime. And so these are the colors that the sun can be, and they are called warm. So they're the warm color family. As you can see, this side of Sandra's face, with the exception of this lip and maybe this cheek here, these are warm colors. Oranges, yellows, reds, pinks, all the way throughout there. And this side are the cool colors and a little bit of yellow-green. So dark green, medium values, light green, right? So right here, this side looks as though maybe it might be the cool colors, and that's how I'm going to keep it, okay? I'm going to follow her style. So I'm gonna, let's see, maybe make her lips, maybe I'm gonna make this lip blue. And I'm gonna go all the way across. Now I want you to have a lot of fun with this piece, boys and girls. It's abstract, it's about color, it's about geometric shapes, it's fun, and you don't really have to think a lot, right? You can just let your mind go, let your imagination be free from anything else, and just focus on what you feel is aesthetically pleasing. That's just big words for what you like. You're the artist. You're gonna have colors that you like more than other colors, and so you should go with what your gut says, right? Go with your feelings. Maybe I'm gonna, I don't know, take this green, which is a different green. I have all different kinds of markers and crayons, and so maybe I'm going to make this triangle green, but a different green or a different hue, and this one too. And then maybe the upside down triangle, I'm going to make maybe a different blue. This guy's falling. Okay. And he fell down. And now we can see our color wheel. So that's helpful, right? Okay. So now maybe I'm going to, I don't know, maybe I'll make it yellow. Maybe we'll add some yellow here, right? We can do whatever we like. And like I said, there are lots of different color families, and so we can't forget about the complementary colors as well. So what does that mean? That means that the complement of a color is the color that is directly across the color wheel from it, and it makes the other look its best. So remember, if I compliment you and I say, your hair looks so great today, that makes you feel good, and then that makes you smile, which then causes you to look your best, right? So the complement of green, let's find the complement of green. Here's green on our color wheel, and if I go directly across, I find what color? Very good, red. So maybe I'm gonna take a red, or maybe I'll take a red crayon or a reddish, pinkish crayon. And I'll add that just to the white of the eyes, so that these two colors now make each other look their best. And I see a little bit of pinkish here in her eye. So now, aside from the nose, I think I have some geometric shapes that are small in this side of her face colored in. And now I wanted to show you blending colors for the larger spaces. So maybe I'm gonna take, what did I say? That's the cool color side. So maybe I'm going to blend some color. So I'm gonna start here And if you take the whole space, this whole side of the face, and color it in a light value, what does that mean? Value means the lightness or darkness of a color, right? So if I make this a light value by not pressing hard with my crayon, now I have a light value of green. I'm trying my best to color in one direction, vertically up, down, up, down. And that helps to fill in all the white spaces, right? Sometimes I can't, but I'm gonna try my best, because we always want to do our best so that we can be proud of our work. Okay, so there's, I'll get this little corner. There's one side of the face, a light value of green. And I have my geometric shapes, and here I'll fill in the nose after. But now if I wanted to, I can add maybe a darker green, right? So maybe I'm going to put this darker green here, and I'm not gonna press hard. I'm just going to go right on top of that light value and add another layer. Another layer of color. So by layering colors, we are creating new colors. Why? Because they're blending, they're mixing. They're mixing together. So right here, where they are touching one another, a light value of one color and a light value of another color, I can color in little circles, and then that makes it blend better. And then if I want, maybe I'm going to add some blue. Maybe I take my blue crayon and I add a light layer of blue. And I'm going to bring it down here by the lips. Now, do you see what's happening? It's going from light green to a little bit darker green to a little bit of blue, and then I'll end up with purple down here at the bottom, and that will allow me to use all of the cool colors, right? And maybe I'm gonna make this mouth, since I already made a mistake and I went into this lip here with my blue crayon, maybe I'm just gonna use my blue crayon and fill the bottom lip up. See, sometimes accidents cause us to make choices that work out, even if we didn't plan them, right? Okay, so don't get angry if something doesn't go right, or if it doesn't go the way that you planned it. Just look at it as an opportunity to do something else, right? I like that. I think that's looking cool. Now I'm gonna add my purple or my violet, and I'm gonna put it down here. And I'm very lightly just adding a layer of purple. And now that's causing all of my cool colors to mix. They're mixing together. So I'm trying to create this kind of blending effect. And if you have chalk or if you have oil pastel, then you know that those are softer materials, and you could blend those with your fingers. You could take a cotton swab or a Q-tip and you could blend them and mix those together. I just know that a lot of you don't have chalk pastels or oil pastels, so I wanted to show you this technique of blending the colors. Okay, so now so that you can see that same blending technique on this side, I'm going to now use the warm colors, okay? And by the way, do you have to do this? No, you don't have to do this the way that I'm doing it. Absolutely not. You can do whatever you like. Remember, this is your piece. You're the artist. I want you to have fun and enjoy coloring in all of your beautiful geometric shapes for your portrait, right? And what's a portrait again? Yeah, if you said a picture of a person, you are correct. Okay, so now let me go right to the warm colors. And I have right here orange and red and yellow. And so I'm gonna start with my lightest color, and I'm going to lay the first layer of color. So I'm gonna do this whole side of the portrait's face in yellow. And I'm not pressing very hard. And you can press very hard if you want to, but you don't have to. And I can't quite get up here, but I'll try. Oh, and by the way, remember, you can use whatever you have. I happen to have markers and crayons here, so I'm using them together, and that is called mixed media. You say mixed media. Very good, boys and girls. That just means mixing materials, using different materials together. Okay, so right here, I am coloring in this whole side of this face in yellow. And remember, I'm saving all these smaller geometric shapes for my marker. And hopefully I will have enough time to show you that right after this side of the face. And try to take your time. Right now, I'm kind of moving a little quickly so that I can get everything accomplished within this video's time. But you're gonna take your time and show me your best so that you can be very proud of everything that you do, right? Good. Okay, so now here, I've filled in that whole side of the face yellow. Now, I'm going to pick my next darkest color, which is the orange. And I'm going to leave this maybe yellow, and then I'm gonna start here with a layer of orange. So this whole middle piece, I'm going to color orange. And I don't need to press very hard. I don't need to press very hard at all because the colors will just blend together by adding a light layer. And I can carry this through all the way from here to the bottom where her or his chin is. And notice how I'm using my other finger to keep my color where I want it to go. Or keep it from going where I don't want it to go, really. Okay, so now as you can see, it goes from bright yellow to a little bit darker yellow or a little bit orange yellow. And then I'm gonna take my red now, and maybe from here where I started the blue, maybe I'm gonna add just a light layer of red. And remember, where you can see this harsh change in color, you can then color in little circles to blend. That's an artist trick where you want to make it a smooth transition. That's a big word for change. You want to make it a smooth change. So right here where I see my red lines starting, I'm gonna color in little teeny tiny circles, and that helps to blend and make those lines fade away. Color in little circles, and I'm holding my crayon this way. I'm not holding it this way, although you can if you choose to, but it works best if you hold your crayon laying down. And there we go. There's my red, and I can try to press a little harder down here if I want it to appear more red and less orange. I'm just gonna press a little harder on my crayon, and that will make it a darker value. So it kind of gives it like this tie-dyed effect, right? Like a tie-dye shirt, red to orange to yellow. And I'll pull you a little closer right here so you can see. You see that? I think that's a really cool effect. I like it a lot. So Now, you can, after knowing how to do that for the larger spaces, then you can go back in and you can do whatever you like in the small spaces. And you can continue to use crayon, or you can go and use marker or color pencil, or like I said, whatever materials you have available at home. And right there, I think I'm going to make a pattern. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a complementary color. So what is the complement of yellow? Let's look. Find yellow, go right across the color wheel, and we come to what? Very good, a violet or a purple, right? So I'm gonna find my purple here, and I'm going to make an alternating pattern of yellow and purple, yellow and purple. Oh, I like this. I'm so excited to see yours, boys and girls. I can't wait for you to send them to me. Yeah, okay. So, that's pretty much it, boys and girls. That is it for today's class. I have had so much fun seeing you and talking with you, and I look forward to next week. So please, please complete this for this week and send in your artwork via Google Classroom. And I really, really look forward to seeing them. And I thank you for joining me for week 6 of our art class. And remember, this blending technique, try it. It's really fun. You're gonna like the effects, okay? All right, boys and girls, thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye.